What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios. Back at it with another debate video. Today's debate video, we're going to be talking about Shin Biollante versus Shin King Kong. Now, if this is your first time ever watching a debate video on this channel, what I like to do is I like to try to open a door that's never been opened before. What that means is we try to debate characters who don't necessarily exist in either Toho's universe or the legendary monsterverse, and we try to see if these kaijus were to exist, what would their backstories be, what would their characteristics be, abilities be, pretty much all of their specs, and most importantly, whoever we're putting them up against, who would be the winner, and who would be the king of the monsters. So this is the plan. We're gonna go over Shin Biollante, backstory, characteristics, abilities, pretty much all about the character. And then same thing for Shin King Kong. After we're done with that, we're gonna put two of these kaijus up against each other in a death battle to see who will be the ultimate winner out of two testing sites, meaning we're going to do best out of two, a close range and a far range battle, which I'll go more in depth. There's a reason why I do those specific ones, because they test out the character's abilities in a very, very harsh way, which is one of the best ways to test it out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin with the backstory of Shin Biollante. So Shin Biollante came into existence when the coagulant that was sprayed into Shin Godzilla's mouth right before he froze, one of the small humanoids was able to fall off the tail before all of them froze. From a long fall, the humanoid was bleeding and looked for a place to rest, and happened to come across a field of roses, and thought that they could be food. The humanoid started eating all of the roses, and his DNA mixed with all of the roses he had devoured, including the blood he spilled on the ones he did not eat. The roses came alive and decapitated the humanoid and formed into the legendary and scary and the abomination Shin Biollante. Now, quick disclaimer, however, here, for any returning viewers, the abilities are gonna be pretty much the same names, but their functionality is gonna be altered here and there to fit the opponent. And same thing will happen with Shin King Kong, so I'm gonna give a quick disclaimer right there. Now, height is 252 meters. Abilities, I'm going to do a quick skim and then we're going to go deep into them. Spiked atomic laser, 10,000 tentacles, a tentacle poison laser, regeneration, instant adaptation, false heart trap. Territorial level is high, aggression level is low, and biome is unlimited, and I'll go deeper into why that actually is. Now let's just go back into the abilities and let's just see what they are one by one. The spiked atomic laser is a very unique one. It comes from the DNA of Shin Godzilla. As we know, Shin Godzilla has lasers all over his body. Biollante, or should I say Shin Biollante here, is made of roses, and roses are known to have spikes all over their bodies. And that mixes with the radiative blast, and there's spiked atomic lasers coming all throughout the body from everywhere, and it has big spikes on it, including the radiation ray with the spikes from the roses. It's going to cause a lot of damage. After that, we have 10,000 tentacles. Yes, Shin Biollante will have 10,000 tentacles. This one has 10,000 tentacles all over the body, which all of them have teeth and even other abilities. So very, very great defensive and offensive ability. Now we have Tentacle Poison Laser. Tentacles themselves have a laser that's poisonous, and what it does, it will numb the opponent of not feeling anything for about 3 minutes. And they could do it in the laser has to like refill, so it will take around every 30 minutes she can use it. But for 3 minutes, it makes the opponent be numb, and the opponent can be attacking Shin Biollante without knowing she's being hit by the tentacles. And it's going to cause a lot of damage to the opponent because they can't feel they're being damaged. It's numbing them out. Next, we have Regeneration. Obviously, you know that Shin DNA, Shin can regenerate quite quickly, and having that DNA, Shin Biollante will do the same as well. Next, we have Instant Adaptation. This comes from, again, Shin DNA. We saw throughout the movie adaptation and evolution within the creature. He would evolve, literally evolve a specific way that would take billions of years, but he would do it in a matter of minutes, if not seconds, from form 2 to 3 to 4. And he could do it very, very quickly, and he can also adapt to situations. We saw that he needed to walk faster on land, so he evolved into a different form. And that's just one example. And Shin Biollante can do the same, evolve and adapt of evolution worth millions of years within a matter of seconds and minutes. Alright. And we finally have the false heart trap, which is known as a mirror blast. It's very, very intense. So right now you're looking at Shin Biollante in the game. You see how she has that heart right there? Well, this new one is more evolved, and her heart is actually going to be in her head next to her brain. And this big bulb that's supposed to be the heart is going to be a false heart trap. It's going to be a fake heart. And what happens is any ability that the opponents use against that heart, it'll exactly mirror it back to them, and they'll be attacked by their own ability, which is a great, great ability. And as I said, I would explain the biome. The biome is unlimited because of the evolution and adaptation ability. He can, or excuse me, Shin Biollante, she can evolve into whatever she needs and adapt to any biome she needs to survive. In a volcano, in the tundra, in the chaparral, wherever she is, right? The biomes she can evolve into. Okay, that pretty much sums up Shin Biollante. Let's go ahead and let's go deeper into Shin King Kong. Now, obviously, I did say this, that some of the abilities will be the same, but their functionalities will be a bit different. Same thing will apply to Shin King Kong, because he has been used before, but we are obviously altering some things here and there, so we don't have to confuse anybody. Okay. Shin King Kong came into existence back when other Kong species were alive. One female Kong ventured past Skull Island into a deep storm, and a whirlpool pulled her to an underwater cave where nuclear waste had been piling up and Shin Godzilla had been growing there. And the female Kong died due to drowning, and Shin Godzilla saw an opportunity to grow its army of mutated creatures. It's gonna get a bit gruesome here. So it ripped open the stomach of female Kong and took in DNA samples and combined it with its own reproductive system to create Shin King Kong, who will always bow down to Shin Godzilla because of this. That's the backstory that I came up with for Shin King Kong. Now, Shin King Kong will be a female too, as we learned here. Abilities, I'm going to do a quick skim. Atomic lasers, sharp flesh, ripping teeth, strong jaws, sharp claws, adaptation, form change, reptile, shin skin, and chest super lasers. Alright. Territorial level is actually maximum. We know Kong likes to take care of his territory. Aggression level is low, and biome is unlimited. Alright. So let's go back into the abilities and let's go do a deep analysis before we move on to the battle. So we have the atomic lasers. Nothing special coming from Shin DNA. Shin King Kong can shoot atomic lasers from her mouth. And yes, if I didn't mention this, I believe I did, but just to mention one more time, both of these kaijus are female. Shin Biollante and Shin Kong are both female. Anyway, so Shin Kong can use atomic lasers, as I just explained that. Next, we have the sharp flesh ripping teeth. Shin Kong, or we can say Shin King Kong, doesn't really matter, has very unique teeth. So she has 8 rows of teeth in her mouth, or she can open up. Only one of them is visible, but she can open up the other 4, or excuse me, other 7. And I don't know where I came up with 4. That was a weird number. But anywho, they are very, very interesting because when they bite into flesh, what happens is this. The other teeth will not come out until Shin Kong has latched onto the flesh of the opponent. And when they do come out, the other 7 they're actually like boomerangs. So they'll actually leave the body of Shin Kong, right? They'll leave the body and they'll go rip up the organs. And once that happens, they'll come right back into Shin King Kong's mouth. So they could travel into the heart and just rip up the heart, kill the opponent, and come back into the mouth of Shin Kong, which is insanely powerful. Next we have strong jaws. Shin Kong is known to have super strong jaws. Not only is the bite force with the sharp flesh ripping teeth causing a lot of damage, he could also use his mouth as a very super strong defensive or offensive mechanism of biting into his flesh or into the opponent's flesh really hard, and the opponent really can't do anything about that. Next we have sharp claws. Now, Shin Kong is known to have claws because of having Shin DNA all over his body, not monkey-like hands anymore. And those claws will do the same exact function as the other 7 rows of the teeth. When he swipes at his opponent and he rips into the flesh with his claws, the claws will leave his fingers, will go rip up the intestines of the opponent, and will come back and attach to the fingers of Kong. Adaptation again comes from Shin DNA, can evolve like experience with Shin Biollante, and this is the exact explanation why she has unlimited biome as well, because she can evolve and adapt. Form change, she can change forms if she wanted to. She can change many forms. She can actually change back into Shin Godzilla, even a more buffed up Shin Godzilla if she wants to, or she can grow wings and fly around the world. Next we have Reptile Shin Skin. Obviously, Shin DNA being combined with Kong DNA has created this very thick reptile-like skin of a primate, and it's very difficult to penetrate, almost impossible to penetrate the skin, even though it is doable, but it is very difficult. And finally, we have chest super lasers. Shin Kong's chest can open up like flesh in the middle, and over 50,000 lasers will be shot through the chest. It's an absolute bloodbath. For the opponent, of course. Okay, great, we're doing fine. Okay, so both of these opponents are done. We're done with them. Let's go ahead and put them up against a death battle. We're going to do close range and far range. Close range is going to be the more practical one. We're going to see the best for last. And far range, we're going to rate their abilities on a more limited basis, because not every opponent can use every ability on a far range basis. So it's kind of limiting them and seeing how they survive with a limited factor of their abilities. So let's start off with far range first. Now, far range, we're going to limit these guys onto only 700 meters apart. They cannot get closer than 700 meters. That is the rule. So let's see what abilities Shin Kong can and cannot use when it comes to far range. So we have atomic lasers. Yes, can be used. Sharp flesh-ripping teeth cannot be used. Strong jaws? No. Sharp claws? No. Adaptation? Sure. Form change? Sure. Reptile Shin Skin? Yeah, it's a defensive ability. And chest super lasers? Yes. So the only thing he can actually use for offensive is atomic lasers and this chest super lasers. That's about it. Yes, and the form change and adaptation obviously as well for defensive. Okay, let's go to Shin Biollante. Let's see what she can and cannot use in terms of far range. Spiked atomic laser, sure. 10,000 tentacles, no, but she can use the tentacle poison laser. Regeneration, sure. Instant adaptation, sure. False heart trap will actually not work from that far of a distance, so no. Okay. I'm gonna say that Shin Kong, being more of a territorial monster, is gonna be the first one to start the battle against Shin Biollante, and I think that she is going to use the atomic laser against Shin Biollante, and that's definitely gonna cause some damage. Nothing deadly, of course, but it's definitely gonna stun. It's gonna have two things are gonna happen. Either it's gonna stun Shin Biollante or it's gonna really piss her off. And I think the second one is gonna be the outcome. It's really going to piss her off, right? And I think as a response, she's gonna be very quick and responsive, and she is going to use the Tentacle Poison laser Now, obviously, it's not going to use too much thing, but it's going to numb Shin Kong. And when it numbs Shin Kong, she can hit her back with the spiked atomic laser. This is a problem. For 3 minutes, Shin Kong is going to be numbed out, not feeling any pain. He's going to see atomic laser hitting her, but she's going to be like, I don't feel anything, right? And that's going to be a big problem because she can't go into defensive mode, and the spiked atomic laser is going to cause a lot of damage. It's deadly. If you're not feeling you're being hurt, that's a problem. And with that said, that's all she could really do. And assuming at this point Shin Kong is really damaged because she could not defend, she doesn't know when to defend because she's numbed out. If she opens up her chest super lasers, she's gonna be 50,000 lasers onto Shin Biollante. Insane amount. And it's gonna cause a heck of a load of damage. Now, quick disclaimer here, we need to understand these two characters. There's a reason why I did not talk about form change in Shin Biollante, however there is form change in Shin Kong. Shin Biollante cannot change her form, however she can adapt into a way where she can pretty much be immune to this ability because she can evolve into the situation. However, that's not the case here because two Shin DNAs will cancel each other out. It's a Shin DNA ability against another Shin DNA ability. You cannot be immune to that. And because of that, the chest super lasers will kill Shin Biollante from that far distance, making the winner for far range Shin King Kong. Okay, let's go into the one we've all been waiting for, which is a close range battle, and that is going to be a good one because it's going to be a big height advantage for Shin Biollante. Shin Biollante is going to be around 252 meters, and Shin Kong is going to be approximately 190 meters. That's a problem. A bit of a problem for Shin Kong, in my opinion. Okay, so this is exactly what's going to happen. Again, I'm going to say Shin Kong is going to be the first one to start off the battle, and he's going to use, I want to say again, the atomic laser to stun Shin Biollante, and as a response, Shin Biollante will use the Tentacle Poison laser to try to numb Kong out. With that being said, she's going to come close into him, but going to be face to face, right? Close range, and she is going to grab Shin King Kong with 10,000 tentacles and just choke her out. And I don't think we're going further than that. Those 10,000 tentacles and the height advantage and the thickness of the Shin DNA is going to call it a day, and that's about it. It's going to be 1-1. It's a quick one, but that's we're being realistic. It's 1-1. So we're going to go into overtime, and we're going to go pure abilities. So let's go Shin Kong first. Atomic laser, sharp flesh ripping teeth, strong jaws, sharp claws, adaptation, form change, reptile shin skin, chest super lasers. Shin Biollante, spiked atomic laser, 10,000 tentacles, tentacle poison laser, regeneration, instant adaptation, false heart trap. Overtime is going over pure abilities, and over through the abilities, I'm gonna have to go with Shin Biollante as the better of the abilities, and the winner is gonna be 2-1 due to overtime, Shin Biollante. Anyways, you can obviously debate me in the comment section below, and your requests are friendly accepted. Thank you so much for watching, and as always everybody, have a great, wonderful day.